Hello, today I'm going to show you how to solve the daily LeetCode problem starting on December 9th, which is LeetCode problem 2981, find longest special substring that occurs thrice. With this, we're given a substring, as you can see here, it's S. We then need to find the longest substring that occurs at least 3 times. In this example, it would be AA, and so on. And if we can't find a substring that happens 3 times, we're going to return -1. And we're going to do this with a two-pointer approach, and we're going to be able to do it in O of n squared time. Let me show you how. First, we're going to create a count map, hash map here. In Python, you can take advantage of the default dict constructor class and just make it so you don't have to check if keys exist. You can kind of just increment automatically, and you'll see that coming. But here we're going to fill it. So I'm going to call it for start in range length of S. So for this start character, we can then go ahead and call count string start. This equals 1. We can do this because of the default dictionary class in Python. Now we can do the second, the nested for. So we're going to do for end in range. This is going to be start plus 1, going all the way to the length of S. Here's where we can do some comparisons for the count. We can say if S bracket start equals S bracket end, we can then do count brackets S. Here we're going to say from start to end plus 1. This is important because when you're splitting up a list like this in Python, the starting index is included and then the ending index is not included. And since we want to include it here, we're going to do n plus 1 plus equals 1. Good to go. And if we're going to do else, so if they aren't equal, we're going to do a couple things. We need to move the starting pointer to the end plus 1, move it up so we don't check the same indexes more than once, and we can then break as interpolated. With that, we can go ahead and do some checks because we now have the counts of everything. So we can do for, I'm going to call it substring, and I'm going to call it sub count in count dot items. And I'm also going to call this max string. So we'll do some checks here. We're going to do if sub count is greater than or equal to 3, and the length of substring is greater than the length of max. So we now, because we're looking for the longest substring. Cool. We can then set max string equal to substring. And this guy will then continue to run. And then with that, we just do a simple check. If max string, if it's actually been set, we can return the length of max string. If it hasn't been set, we can simply do else, return -1. And because of this for loop up here, we will be running in a O of n squared complexity. Let's give it a run. Make sure I don't have any small typos or anything. Good to go there. Let's hit submit. Cool. And it looks good. And again, this is using a two-pointer approach. Instead of left and right, we're using these start and end indexes to move along and create the count. And then we just do a simple iteration over that hash map counter saying if it's greater than 3, and if the length of the substring is greater than this max substring, that way we can find the longest substring for the problem. Thank you.